Everybody, how you doing? If you don't know me, my name is Paul Turner and I am one of the Ninja Forex traders. And joining me today, I'm very excited because we've got James Hackney. Hello, James.
Hi guys, you okay?
So James has just passed a milestone in terms of trading, and he's very kindly going to talk to us a little bit about that and how he's managed to achieve it. And then the gentleman, I never point that way and that way because I never know which way it is, but I can point down because I know that David is underneath the video at the bottom. So we also got David, and David has got a big part to play in the strategy, like he put it together, that James has used to pass this milestone. So if you're into trading, I promise you, or you're looking to trade, or you're currently trading but not profitable, and you've seen like these prop firms where they will basically give you money to trade with, you will want to pay attention to this video. Now that said, James has got things to do. We're going to try and keep this as brief as we can and yet interesting. So James, who are you? Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is James Hackney. I'm 28. My main profession is that I'm a life coach, and I basically help people with goals and confidence, and NLP practitioner like yourself, Paul. And I'm somebody who, how I kind of define what I want to do. I've been traveling, saved up money, had a big bundle of money, been traveling, massively into traveling. And it's like, how can I do this and not be dictated by how much money I can spend, where I can go, and also need to answer to somebody. So I'm actively working, which I may talk about, towards a certain goal that I have, which is exciting. But yeah, that's a view. I am based in Leeds, from Stoke-on-Trent initially.
Only just based in Leeds. I said to James, can we do this interview last week? And he went, yeah, but not until like Wednesday onwards because I'm moving. So it's not really from Leeds, guys. The minute he's an imposter. It's like, where I live in Cornwall, it'll take me about 30 years before they'll accept me as a local as well. So I don't know.
Yeah, the accent doesn't fit enough for you.
Anyway, good stuff. So I think I can sort of see where this is going then, but why did you want to get involved in Forex then?
Because, yeah, as I mentioned, I went traveling for 6 months and I came back and I just couldn't fit into a job. I nearly broke down on my first day back, and I was like, do you know what? I need something that's going to allow me to travel. This idyllic lifestyle of working from a laptop, it was there, and I was like, if people are doing it, I can do it. I haven't got the patience to do funnels, marketing, all that stuff that you see. That, and I was just like, there's got to be a way where you haven't got to sit in front of a laptop for 12, 14 hours per day, working your ass off. And I was like, and then I started speaking to a few people, and I was like, right, you know what? This will suit my lifestyle, because I want to be in a year, 2 years time, where I'm able to go to anywhere I want in the world. I can give back to people. My time can be helping communities, helping charities, enjoying the sun, and just have that freedom and that feeling that I got when I was traveling. And trading is something that will give me that.
That's bloody awesome. You mentioned something I'll pick up on there. You mentioned kind of building funnels and stuff like that. Do you know what? We get a lot of network marketers, a lot of affiliate marketers come in because they're kind of tired of, like, the reason you have to build the funnels and stuff boils down to two things. You've got to sell something
Yeah.
or refer people. And was that a Doombar glass?
It is a Doombar glass.
Man, you've gone up in my estimation even more. Good man. So yeah, sort of throwing me off now, isn't it? So anyway, so yeah, it boils down to, fundamentally, you have to sell something or refer people into a scheme or whatever. So with Forex, there's none of that, right?
Nothing. I did a year drop shipping, and it was this whole applying to customers, emailing, got the chance of returns, the website, and I was just like, this is, even if I was in a foreign country abroad by the beach, I'd have no bloody time go to enjoy the beach or anything. And I was like, do you know what? I need something that doesn't work for me. I basically may as well have a job. Yeah. And then as I started to learn more about this group, getting involved, it's giving me the opportunity to have that lifestyle that I want.
I know David's had experience in network marketing before, haven't you? What do you prefer?
Yeah, I burnt out network marketing, worked for a long time. I held my own through once or twice, but most often I end up losing a bit of money.
Yeah.
The trading, like James was saying, gives you the opportunity to not have to sell, not have to recruit, be your own boss, do what you want when you want, that sort of thing. Yeah.
So James, so how did you find us then, the Ninja Group?
So it's really quite strange. I went on because I got a podcast myself.
A dream.
And I went on to the, yeah, it came to me in a piece of toast. It was, I was cooking a piece of toast one morning and it said ninjas.
Oh,
Yeah, so I think it was 2019. Yeah, and I was in a podcasting growth group. I just got involved and I got speaking to a guy, Paul Motley, who's in here. And we started talking, and I was into affiliate marketing and things like that. And I was just becoming a coach, and we just built up a relationship. And then he messaged me about this group, and I was like, yeah, do you know what? The pandemic's on. I've got nothing else to do in my time, and I got involved and did it for about 2 or 3 months, and just couldn't do it. I was doing the scalping, and I was an absolute bag of nerves, and there was just something, it wasn't clicking. And I think what it was is I was going through all my coaching qualifications at the time, my NLP, and I was like, do you know what, something's got to go, and it's got to be the trading. And then start of this year, I was like, you know what, I want to get back into that, and I went on in the free group.
once it's in your blood, guys, once it's in your blood, you cannot get it out, can you?
I've had this conversation so many times with my partner, and she doesn't get it. And because if I was in her shoes, she hasn't got no interest in it, and I wouldn't get it if I hadn't. And it was like, do you know what? When this clicks, the world's our oyster. That lifestyle that you dream about, once it clicks, it may take a year, 2 years. That's what's going to happen. So I got back into the group. For the first few months, just finding my own feet. And then I remember jumping on some of David Kahn's, and I was like, I like this. Like, this is everyone's got their own style, and it's like this. I can see this working.
Funny, because most people say the opposite about David's sessions. I'm joking, David. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Yeah, I'm the only one.
We have a lot of banter in our group, guys. So sorry, it's in joke stuff. So yeah. So no, quite a few people do it. That's 71, 78 zone. Everyone's using it everywhere now. We were talking about DeLorean earlier, weren't we? And it's like, you know, everyone's bringing that in. You know, which is awesome. We'll talk more about what David's done and with David in a sec. So yeah, so you got introduced, you came in. Now, when people say to me, if I join, what can I expect? I always say to be overwhelmed and confused, and your journey was no different. So that's probably put like people watching this off, but is it worth it?
100%. I've got still so much to learn, still so much to do, and things like that. It's worth it, you know. It's when you think about anything new and it's a bit out there, and it does become overwhelming. It is confusing at the start, you know. Everything is. Think about driving when you first drove a car. I remember sitting behind the wheel thinking, oh my god, there's so much to do, and it was overwhelming. It was confusing. The more that you do it, the more that you absorb it. I always felt that there was a point where it's like, do you know what, I get what a pip is, I get what the candles are doing, I get the basics.
I always liken it to like playing guitar, because I know you can see Slash from Guns N' Roses do it, and you think, well, it's easy. When you actually pick it up, even just to get a clean note out of the thing, and then it even hurts. It physically hurts your fingers when you start learning to play. You know, and I mean, I got into it because I wanted to look cool. So what happened is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star is the first thing, one of the first things you learn. But your story, I mean, I've been doing this now, what, 4.5 years, and you're similar, David, aren't you? I think you were doing it before me, not necessarily with Ninja, but you've been doing it a while.
Yeah, I've been trading since 2015.
Yeah, so 6 years now. Yeah, so can you remember when you started? I bet your experience was exactly the same as James.
Oh yeah, of course.
And mine was exactly the same.
Like we always say, 90% of trade. 10% is technical, 90% is getting your mind working right, you know. So
guys, just to sort of recap on, you know, why I'm saying this is everybody starts the same, everybody starts like James has just said, right? So that's even more impressive then when, James, do you want to tell us about what FTMO is?
Yeah, so I'm someone who hasn't got.
And how long have you been in, sorry? How long have you been with us?
So I rejoined in February. February this year, have you joined?
February, it's now July.
Yeah.
So March, April, May, June, July, 5 months, guys.
That's it. Yeah. So I'm one of these people where I haven't got a lot of patience in terms of achieving my goals. You know, I want to be this lifestyle today. And also, I haven't got a vast amount of money in the bank, and I don't want to. Also, like, I'm a person who values security, so having that money in the bank is it's secure for me. So it's like, what's the way that I can do this where I haven't got to risk my own capital? And I was introduced through the group to a number of different. I can't think of the name, the actual proper name for them, fully funded accounts. Prop firms, that's the one.
Firms, yeah.
Yeah.
Firms, they're known as, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, do you know what? I was like, I'm gonna jump on one of these. Did some research, watch some YouTube videos, went on the demo accounts. I was like, I get this. I get this. I like it. So I signed up in with FTMO, which is where you and I know I won't go into too much detail because I want too much time, and I know the information's all online. You have a funded account of you have to pass a month's trial and then another month's trial, 10% the first month, 5% the second month. And then you have the accounts, which is now I've got a set amount of money. And I don't know if I can mention figures on here.
I think we can, because it's on FTMO website anyway.
Yeah.
So we're not meant. Guys, we use how do I put it? We are using software, okay, to help us do this. And the company that provide the software, the whole thing's very regulated. So we're not allowed to entice you in with our great results. So, because at the end of the day, like James has just said, when you come in, you're going to be dazed and confused. So if you're listening to this now and going, wow, he's got, and we can say, because it's a $10,000 account is what James went for. So in 5 months, right? How much did you know about Forex before you joined?
It was, I didn't even know you could trade pounds against dollars.
So from not even knowing you could do it 5 months ago to now being given $10,000 to trade with, because he's proven the strategy. All right, he's proven the strategy, and I guess we'll talk NLP, we'll talk strategies and rules. So if you want to teach me to paint, right, and paint a beautiful picture, there's a certain amount of creativity involved in that, and a certain amount of technique, and a certain amount of, like learning to play guitar. If you want to teach me how to bend a string, the first time you try and bend a string, bloody hell, is it difficult, right? Well, to do it in tune and do it properly, maybe, right? So what David has done, he's used, we call what we have the ninja trading system, because we try and systemize things to make it that somebody who's brand new, like James 5 months ago, can come in and find a system, a strategy, a way of doing things that is going to suit them, that is broken down into steps. So we don't want to overhype this, guys, and make it over easy, but could a 10-year-old do what you've done, James?
They could. They could do it with the process, and as David said, it's the mindset aspect of it after. And so, yeah, they could do. Yeah, they could. Yeah, it's following that process, and it's that mindset work around it. So yeah, it's a £10,000 account, and I'm aiming this month just to do 10%, which I then keep 70% of.
Yeah.
And to then build it, and then eventually to get the account that's £140,000, which would literally just knock me off my seats. And it would be like, oh. And
let's share screen. Let's show what the FTMO is. And then we'll show the actual strategy. Now,
I was just going to say, James, when you get to 140,000, let me know, because we beg your letters in the post, okay? Just ready to go.
I'll send you a few Doom bars down and a few beers.
So the thing is, guys, we were basically kind of made aware of these prop firms. Really, the FTMO is the daddy of them all. It's been around a while, but like nobody really knew about you could trade Forex going back, I mean, probably 5-6 years. I mean, I'd heard of it a little bit before I got involved. But in the last 4 years, it's really taken off, because you don't have to sell, you don't have to recruit people, you can do it from your home or your phone. So James can go and sit on a beach in Bali or somewhere like that, and he can still actually trade right off his phone. And when we show you kind of the trade setups, you know, James, if you take one of David's trades that we give you in the group, how long does it actually take you to enter that trade?
I can enter it in a minute if I wanted to.
So
yeah, it's that if that, and I do it all from my phone as well. So I do the setups on the computer, like in the mornings, and I do my own analytics now. Entering the trade is all done from my phone.
So we'll show you those guys if you're new to all of this. And I know when we said about, you know, or they gave James $10,000, here's the levels you can apply for, and James went for the start one. What's in it for them? Why would they do that? Well, like, did you hear James mention, you know, he gets 70%, so they keep 30%. So for them, it's a no-brainer that you have to pass the verification process to prove you can trade. And once you've proven you can trade, they'll give you the account. And for them, what are they doing then? It's like, it's better than the return they'll get in the bank, or, you know, property, you get tenants that don't pay rent and destroy properties and things like that, and so on and so on. So this is quite a good way for them as an investment company. It's quite a good way for them to actually make money, you know, and you still have to follow the rules once you're done in that. But like you've just heard James say, you can do stuff in a minute. So this is what you have to do. You have to pass it within 30 days. Step one, you have to trade for a minimum of 10 days so they can see you consistent. Sometimes, guys, honestly, you could probably pass in one trade or even one day, right? You could pass it in one day, potentially even one trade. In theory, most people wouldn't, for various reasons that we don't need to explain today, because that's what you learn when you get involved. But in theory, and I've seen people do it, they literally pass the requirements in a day, but that could be a fluke. That could just be you were lucky and you gambled and you happened to win that trade. So for that, they make you take at least 10 days worth of trades. That could be one trade a day. So it could be 10 trades, but minimum 10 days to prove you're consistent. And then you've got your maximum daily loss. So out of the $10,000 that you're trading on a demo, right, to start with, to prove you can do it. So they're not risking any money while you're proving that you can do it. You're only allowed to lose 500. Okay, that's your maximum daily. Your maximum loss overall is 10%, 1,000 in this case. And you have to make 1,000. And what they do is they charge you. Now, a good thing about FTMO is they all charge, basically. I think there's another one now that's doing something you can get involved for free and then build your account up as you go. They all charge, but what we like about FTMO is they actually have a free trial, so you can prove you can do it without having to spend a penny before you actually go and pay them something, which is pretty good, isn't it?
Mm.
Now,
yeah.
I'll stop share a minute, and I'm going to bring another spreadsheet up. So how many attempts did it take you, James?
2. So I passed on my second attempt. I completely, the first, when did I try the first one? It was, I'm going to say March, April this year. And it just wasn't.
You'd only just joined. I mean,
yeah. And I was doing the straight from the scanner strategy and also David's strategy, and I was just like, what? And I came off that and I'd completely blown it. I was like, oh, well done, Jane, that's great. And I was like, well, what happens if you just follow David's strategy? You just followed the one, and hence why I'm sitting here today with the account and still so much to learn. But the second time around, I was much more in control, I would say.
I'm just going to see if I can get a good example of one, but I'll show the trades. Actually, I'll just show David's. Right. So let's just show you guys a couple of things. And we, talking about the impatience aspect, where James is, you want to get your goals and you're impatient, you don't want to wait. So let's just explain that, and then we'll actually look at it, and then we'll close it out and let David talk a little bit about how he came up with it and stuff. So share screen. So guys, if you want to start with us, this is what we do to try and help you win, right? So I've shown you the FTMO trial. So a lot of people come into Forex, and what we've been doing is we've been following this compound plan. And so FTMO is 155 euros for what James has done. And now he has a $10,000 account, and he gets to keep 70% of what he does, and he can scale and grow from there, okay? And move up and take the other accounts. What we've what we've been doing, wrong sheet, what we've been doing is we've been saying, well, if you start with that 155, say, that it costs to do the FTMO challenge, and you could grow your account at an average of 3% per day, 20 days a month. And this is all probable examples, guys. We're not saying this is history. Do people do this? Yes, but is it 100% everybody does it? Absolutely not. But okay, so you come in, you got 155 the first day, you get your 3% account growth, so you finish on 159.65. The next day, that's what you're starting with, aren't you? So your 3% of that is 479. You see, it goes up all the time, it compounds. So at the end of the first month, if you win every day, and you probably won't, okay, but we do have good win rates, but you could probably get $124.95, euros, yen, pounds, whatever it is you're trading in. And that, to get to 10K in your account, assuming you don't ever take any money out, takes you, well, it takes you month 8. So it would take, if you rather than take that 155 euros and compound it, and this is amazing. People don't understand the power of this, right? People just don't understand it. But if you can get good at the trading and pass the FTMO and get the $10,000, you've just saved yourself 8 months. Now, at the end of a year, 155 potentially could turn into 186,752. Most people don't ever get there because of mindset, and you don't win every trade and stuff like that. But what we say is, look, would you be happy if you did half of that? Would you be happy if you did 10% of that? If you took 155 and turned it into 18 grand, would you be happy? 10%, if you're only 10% as good. Okay. And people find their level where they're happy. But now watch what happens. So James gets a $10,000 account. He start with 10,000. You know, his first day, that's 1,000, 10, 1, 2, 3. You know, so he could be then making the same 3% account growth would give him $300 in a day. So James has now got money he can live on while he's traveling. Hats off to you. I don't think you'll be life coaching for much longer, will you?
That's the thing. That's the predicament that I'm in. I need to get more consistent at it, and but that is the plan, to then incorporate the mindset thing with the trading.
That's £210 or $210 your percentage, your share. But that's just one day. Obviously, over the course of the month, if you did it every day, it's 8 grand. Let's just call it 8,000 times 70%, 5,600. So it's the shortcut to save you the compounding journey. And what we say is, look, you got the best of both worlds. Go and get funded, compound that money. Take your first 500 and compound that. So now you can get funded. Okay, no guarantees you'll pass, anything like that. We're not doing that, right? You can go and get funded. And then with your bigger amounts of money that you're making, you could take that and you could compound that at 3% a day. Now, we could talk about risk management and everything, but we're not going to do that because that's what you learn when you come involved, and I'm conscious of the time. So, David, do you want to give us a brief overview of the Ninja Smart Money, and do you want me to show the scanner, or do you want me to show some of your trades?
Well, if you just make me co-host a minute, I'll share screens.
I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to let you take control over my screen.
We've done it many, many times. You've always trusted me. Why should today be any different? I'm in control. Right, okay. So basically, the system, the Ninja Smart Money, is a system that uses the harmonic scanner from our group. Basically, it's all about fib zones. Looking for a price, we're going from the higher high to the lower low, looking for price to go back into these magic zones created by a tool called the Fibonacci level.
Well, I don't want to interrupt you, David, but I do just want to say, if you're listening to this now and your eyes are glazing over, good, because I've got something to show you in a minute. If this sound, oh, the high, the low, the what, the fib what, that's good, because I'm going to show you something.
This is the thing. I mean, I train this every week.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a few weeks to get it, doesn't it, James?
It does, yeah, it does. When you click, it clicks.
It's consistency. We repeat every week, and I make no apologies for that. So we're in the zone, so to speak. But basically, we get a harmonic scan, which is a basic change of the trend. And you put your fibs on from your higher high to the lower low. You've got your magic zone that you're looking for price to go back into. And so we've got the higher high, the lower low. You get your fibs on. Price goes back into this magic zone and a little bit beyond the zone. And then hopefully it'll do its thing and go for the real sell down to these levels down here. And I just pulled one up today at random, and it is doing exactly that. So that's basically what we're doing.
Can you just hover over the risk to reward there for us?
Oh yeah, risk to reward. So we put 1% of our account money. That's what I teach people. They can do what they like, basically. But we use 1% of our account money. So this is what's called the stop loss. Basically a safety net to stop price going up here. If it does, you lose lots more money. But if it goes up to there, you've only lost 1%. So we put 1% of our account going down to the ultimate take profit down here. So basically, when it gets down here, if it gets down here, you've got 3% of your trading account money for your trade.
So to pass the FTMO was 10%. You're only allowed to lose 5% per day or 10% overall. So if you were taking these trades, you could take 5 of these at 1% risk, each of them in a day, if there were that many trades. We'll talk about that. So if you, to basically fail, you would have to take 5 of these at 1% each, and then you'd hit the limit. So bear that in mind when we look at some results in a minute, guys. If they all won at a 1 to 3 risk to reward, i.e. if you lose 1% of your account, and if you win 3%. If you did 5 trades at 3% gain and they all won, that's 15%. You've 1.5 times what you need to pass the challenge.
Yeah, that's cool. Shall I give the screen back to you?
Yes, please. Let me
explain.
the screen back. Disinfect your hands before you do.
Okay.
We're still in COVID at the time we're recording this, guys. Right, so James, and actually, how many of the trades do you take that are supplied for you? Have you learned the strategy, and do you follow? And I'm going to show those now. So
yeah. So I take, I'd say 90% of David's trades. The one today, the USD CHF, I didn't take purely for the reason that it's a Friday afternoon, I think, when it triggered. And also with the FTMO accounts, you can't keep them open over the weekends, which is something that I've never, ever done. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna sit this one out. So I'd say around 90% of the trades I take. And the beauty with this smart money trading system is that you see a trade, and then David then probably more than likely puts it into the group. So you see a trade brewing and you're like, oh, that looks good. And the next thing you know, David pops the chart and you're like, oh, and it gives you that confidence. Yeah. And then now looking at expanding it into the lower time frames as well, which I know I won't go into more detail because it might be a bit complicated, but that's something now that I'm looking at progressing into.
So we, in our group, guys, most people fail at Forex. I'll be up front and I'll tell you that. So how is it? We got Jeff as, I think he's passed it. He put the certificate in. So Jeff's done the FTMO, passed. Adrian's well on his way now. David Eisenhofer, the Hoff as we call him, he's passed. I spoke to him the other day. I passed the trial on FTMO with 100% win rate. I just always like to say that 19 trades, 19 wins. I just always like to get that in there, that it was 100% win rate. And I'm actually going through one now with another prop firm that I'm doing. I don't see a problem with passing that very soon. So as we've introduced this to the group, we've got more people now going through it. And obviously James, so pleased when we see members doing it. So you're going to see a lot more of us. Now, the reason why we are winning then, and I mean, if you want to see results, like I've got results, I can show you results. There's me today, look, 18 pips is how we measure profit and loss in the market, plus 10, plus 25. He only needs 10 a day, 72, 120, 163. He only needs 10 pips a day. And these trades are actually supplied as well. by a guy called Barley Granville. So I'm not going to go into it today. If you're watching this on the website, you know, there's links around that explain, but we basically are using a company that provides Forex software and education, and we are using those and tapping into what they offer. The main one being the scanner. There are more. I mean, this morning we have a session on training another one that's called DeLorean. And sometimes people get a bit like, oh, well, you know, promoting the company. No, we're not actually promoting the company. We are telling you what is working for us and how we are winning when other people are failing. The ones that are failing are often the ones that think, oh, well, maybe they're just trying to sell us the company. We're not. This is amazing. People call this a cash machine, right? And they shouldn't, because it sounds hypey and that. But we wait for a certain thing, as David has shown, and then you know, you expect the price from here to come back up into that zone, and it's come down. So I can do that myself, right? But if you're brand new, and remember when I said, oh, if your eyes glaze over, well, if you come over into Raining Pips, and you know, when you've seen enough of the results that go on and on and on and on, where's my loss? I just wanted to prove that we lose as well as win. I had a bad day the other day because I got cocky and I lost 35 pips.
I think it was a little bit higher up. Yeah. There you go.
Ah, did you notice how keen he was to get that in? He even remembers where it is. Yeah, thanks, Jen. I know where your friends are.
He's got it blown up on his wall.
He's got a poster of that.
The one time. The one. You did it purely for this session, though.
You're only as good as your last trade.
Not the truth.
There you go. There's a loss there. Look, mine must be further down from that. But yeah, I screwed up, guys. I'm only human at the end of the day, and you know, it doesn't matter. I think we all do it. Done by 8. So I mean, I had a great day, and then I went and screwed it up by losing. Anyway, so I just want to minus 35. There you go, guys. We don't win every trade. We don't hype, right? We're real. We're real people, and this is why we use this company, because it makes it work. There's loads of most of these. Ryan lost 6 pips on something, but all of these are wins. Right, so when you start to see the results and you're thinking, well, I want to do it, but I can't really understand what you've just shown me there. I don't understand breaker structure imbalance. I don't understand Fibonacci. I don't know where to draw the lines. I
think an important point is, Paul, getting back to James's story, the trading system strategy he's doing, I lose about 50% of the trades because price will do what it's going to do. But with the risk to reward, we're gaining overall, and I hope you go into that.
I'm going to show the results, and I'm actually going to show. And remember, when I show those in a second, right, that you need to. Your target is 10%. You need 10%, right? So just remember that. But look, here's the trades. And when I asked James, how long does it take to put the trade on? These are pending orders. Do you know what that means? It means you could get up before you go to work. You could see if there's any trades. You could put them on. It means you could have a toilet break at work if you're at work, and you could just check your phone while you sat on the porcelain throne, and you could go, oh yeah, there's a trade. And as James has already said, it literally takes a minute to enter these numbers into the screen. Okay, you could literally copy and paste them, right? Now, you're reliant on David then. Like last month, David went away for a week. We in our group, we are all about empowering you to be able to do it for yourself. We don't want you to be dependent on us, you know, or David or anybody else, right? So these are here, and they're great to learn. They're great when you sort of earn while you learn kind of idea. They're great to help you analyze. And it's like, well, what actually has he done there then? Could I replicate that? So it's great for that. And obviously, yeah, take them. There's nothing wrong with taking them, as long as you appreciate David doesn't win all the time, right? And you'll see that in a second. But if you did just take these, and we have Brian and David Eisenhofer, who's going to put more in for us. I spoke to him this week. He's keen to do more for us. They do what's known as the banker strategy, and it's how the banks move money. And they both drop trade setups in for us. So they don't necessarily, well, yeah, there's the levels. Look, you've got the zone here. You just have to decide where you want to put it. So you've got David's, you've got Brian's, you've got the Hoffs, and then we have a guy called Kevin, and he puts in slightly different strategy, but he puts in trade setups for us as well. So we do a lot in our group to try and help you, give trades you can analyze, you can take, you can use as a basis for your own trading, or just take them. And then also the company we use, they provide trades with the right products, and I don't take them because I've got the Forex software that calls out good potential setups for me, right? So we have all this going on to help you pass. But if you just took David's trades that he puts in our group, remember, 10%. The win rate here is what? Is that 50% by the looks of it? 1, 2, 3, 3 losses, 4, 5, 6, 7 losses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So David has lost more than he's won. David, you're terrible trader, you.
I know.
Terrible.
I hang my head in shame.
Hang your head in shame. So in terms of win rate, if you're looking at this as somebody outside, not knowing Forex, you would actually think, well, don't join the ninja groups. The guy's lost more trades than he's won. But let's just have a quick add up in our head, shall we? I'm going to add the green ones up first. 6 and 6 is 12. Forget these little bits for now. 12 plus 4 is 16, 19, 22. All of that adds up to at least 1. So 23% potential. I'm not saying this is like what anybody's done because we're not allowed to. But you could have had 23% there. But now we've got to take away the losses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losses. In my head, 23 minus 7 is 16, correct, guys?
Yeah,
Friday
you're
afternoon.
right.
16% available to you with trades that are supplied. What do I need? I need 10% growth to pass FTMO, right? Not losing more than 5% in one day or 10% overall. Well, he lost 7 trades, that's 7% overall. So as long as these weren't all on the same day, no, they're not. And as long as there's at least 10 trades, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that would have passed the FTMO for you guys. That's not too bad, is it? What about last month when David was off for a week? Not many trades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 5 days worth of trades there. So you couldn't just take David. You'd have to take some of Kevin's. You'd have to take some of Brian's. You'd have to take some of the Hoffs. You'd have to maybe do your own from the scanner and do the strategy yourself because David teaches it every single Saturday. David's there teaching it, answering questions, offering support, helping everybody out. Okay. What about, so that one, you couldn't have just done it on David's alone. What about the month before? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, at least 10 trades. So you could have taken those over 10 days. Okay. Sorry. From the 4th to the 27th. Yeah, I'm sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's more than 10 different days there. So you could have passed that. And as you can see, what was available to you was 30. So that's the last 3 months, the last 4 months. As long as remember 5% a day. So as long as these losses weren't all on the same day, the 12th, the 14th, the 5th, no, so fine. More than 10 trades in more than 10 days. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, just. So if you're just taking his trades, 10 days, tick, more than 10% account growth, tick, and you wouldn't have got 5% a day drawdown. I hope you're excited. So David, anything you want to add to close out because we're over time?
Not really, Paul, thanks.
So we're going to give the last word to James. So James, anybody looking at getting involved with trading and they're, I don't know, and they're looking at maybe joining the ninja group, what would you say about whether they should do it or they shouldn't, and about the group? And you
definitely should. That's a simple answer. Definitely should. And it would be to view it as an investment. It's an investment in yourself, your learning, your future, and it's an investment worth making. And it's not something that is going to be done in a few months and, oh yeah, I'm fine now. It's going to take time. And when you are reaping the rewards, like I said, I've got I got the account now, the 10 grand account, and I've still got such a journey still to go on to get to where I want to be. It's them small stepping stones that are going, right, it's going to get here. And where will you be in 3 years' time if you just did 10% a month? I was having a conversation with Danny, and we said, like, if you could just take 5 trades that were 2% a month, do your 10%. It does sometimes feel too good to be true.
Yeah.
It's just how simple it can be, which is one of the reasons why I like David's strategy, because it's simple. So yeah, if you're looking at and thinking about doing the group, if you are serious about being financially free and willing to invest and take your time, and it's the perfect group.
And I think that's a good place to end it on. So thanks very much for your time, guys. I'll end it there.
Thank
If
you.
you're watching this on the site, there'll be a link if you want to click that and learn more, or click the tabs at the top. If you're on YouTube, there'll be a link for the website that I'm talking about or something, or on Facebook or whatever. So thanks a lot, James, and congratulations. I don't think I said that.
Thank you.
Although it can be so simple. I mean, I've been here over 4 years. I had to compound to grow my account. And when I look now and I think, oh my God, if I'd have had this 4 years ago, and I love the way you say it will take you months. It took him 5 months, guys. Anyway, and you never stop learning in Forex. David's been doing it more than me. David, do you ever stop learning?
Certainly not. No, there's always something to learn all the time.
All right, guys. I'm going to stop the recording there. Thank you.